Namaste, namaskaram, vanakkam, namo namaha, jai Ganesha. Please visit our website at classicalyoga.org, and there is a donate button if you'd like to help us out. Today's podcast, Pani Larka, Larki, Pani Beta, Beti, Water Boy, Water Girl. Let's see what this means. You know, in the religions of the world, we have monotheism and we have polymorphism. The monotheistic religions, Zoroastrianism, the Parsis, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, believe in a one male creator being, noun. And in the creation of this one male creator being, which is obviously an unprovable statement, they obviously had to justify the evil in life. Thus, they had to also create a devil. And thus began the war between God and the devil. Of course, who were the devils? All those who didn't believe in the true God. And who was that? Was it Yahweh? Was it God? Jesus? Allah? And his true book, the Torah, the Bible, the Quran, respectively. See the problem? So all the others who didn't believe became part of the devil equation, influenced by the evil forces. Obviously failing to recognize that the very duality of life is good and bad, hot and cold, like and dislike. This is the very nature of duality. So the scenario was developed that all the good people go to the heavenly realms and be with God, or Yahweh, or Allah. And all the bad people go into Hades, into hell, where they burn and are tormented forever. And hell is obviously headed by this devil. What a perverse ideology. This fear obviously can keep some people in line, fear of the devil, fear of hell. But when a thinking person starts to do just that and wakes up to the reality of we are in this duality of life. There is good and bad, and yes, there is evil, for sure. But these are all states of being that we humans go through. As we try desperately to figure out who we are, what our place is in this world. Now, in the non-monotheistic religions, the polymorphic religions, there's generally a greater understanding of this natural duality of life. There is good and there is bad. Till one finally figures out that it just simply makes for a much more comfortable life, if you will, for us and for those around us, to do more good things, beneficial things, than to do bad things. Now, in the Hindu yoga dharma, which is a religious, spiritual, scientific, philosophical lifestyle, we recognize the outer duality, but also seek to understand an inner divinity that's actually within all, which is actually counter to the monotheistic traditions, that this deity is really not within all. In fact, their very theology is that one is born in sin and will remain a sinful, unsaved creature until they become part of the chosen, the elect, before the Holy Spirit, in the case of Christians, descends upon one by the acceptance of Jesus, or when one accepts the true, quote-unquote, religion of Islam. The Hindu Yoga Dharma, of course, is very different, however. because we recognize that all of us are this divine inner, what we call the Atmana, soul if you will, but it is different. It literally means not the mind, not the body, not the emotions, temporarily inhabiting the body, mind, and emotions, but is the inner essence of all. This Satchit Ananda, this pure existence, pure energy, pure light, and the feeling of lightness, and the inner experience of bliss or love, Ananda Priya. So Hindus recognize that this is the inner essence of all, hence we say Namaste, bowing to the divinity within. However, if we're not realizing this, this is where living the religious lifestyle in general, and specifically the Hindu, yoga, religious, spiritual, scientific, philosophical lifestyle, helps to uncover that which we are, but is simply covered up with confusion, with greed, with anger, with lust. Why the Saiva Hindus wear the Tripundra, the 3 stripes of Vibhuti, the 3 lines of Vibhuti, virtuous lines. The holy ash, burning up Lobha, Krodha, Kama, greed, anger, lust, by being giving, compassionate, controlled. Hence we live a certain lifestyle that helps uncover that which we all are on the inside. That's why Hindus say, Atma Darshana Paramo Dharma. Along with all of our other very important duties in life, our supreme or param dharma duty is to realize or see our soul, the Atmana, Atmadarshana Paramo Dharma. And we do that by living this Hindu yoga, religious, spiritual, scientific, philosophical lifestyle. This is really a 180-degree shift in consciousness from the monotheistic religions who say quite the opposite. Humans are born in sin and remain sinful until they follow the correct way, if you will. Not realizing this inner divinity, it's quite obvious that for the monotheists, and especially the Christians, to see evil, see the devil in all the others, in fact, in life itself in many ways. You know, it's very interesting when the missionaries, the crusaders, the inquisitors, the conquistadors went around the world, still go around the world, trying to convince people of the validity of solely the Christian way. They saw evil, the devil if you will, in all those people that they encountered. Hence, for example, when the missionaries went to Hawaii, they somehow convinced the people to stop wearing their grass skirts, doing their hula dances, and even surfing, and put them in stiff, rigid clothing, thinking the body was sinful, thinking they were following the devil or evil ways. So too, when Christians came to America, they had to obviously subdue the heathen Indians, and so the story goes. In other words, being born with this notion that one is already sinful, evil, one may see evil everywhere, the devil everywhere they go. So back to the title of this podcast, Pani Larka, Pani Beta, Larki, Beti, Water Boy, Water Girl. There was a humorous movie some years ago called Water Boy by Adam Sandler. And in this movie, Adam Sandler plays the water boy, a rather mentally slow person, if you will, who had a very needy mother, a very fearful mother, who saw the devil everywhere and convinced her boy, because she was so afraid of losing him, that everything in the outer world was demonic, hence he would always stay with her in her insecurities. See the basic human psychology here? So to the water boy's mama, and he called her mama. Mama said this, mama said that. Everything to his mama was evil. He wanted to play football, which she called foosball. So to her, foosball became evil. The coach became evil. His first potential girlfriend, Vicky Valancourt, she too became evil and the devil. In other words, being so insecure within her own being, she made everything on the outside world the devil and evil to her son, the water boy, making him afraid to interact with the world. Till finally he discovered the warrior inside himself. And in his own words, he opened a can of whoop-ass. This is what we must do as individuals. We must find the youthful, loving warrior inside of us. This is why Hindus worship Muruga, Skanda, Kartikeya, also Krishna, Hanumanji, Durga Ma. These are all youthful, loving warrior spirits and deities within the Hindu yoga dharma as role models to remind us that we need to stand up and protect ourselves, our families, and the dharma. Now, as Hindus, we also have the principle of ahimsa, nonviolence. And this tempers us and keeps us from committing violent acts, but should never, ever be used to or as an excuse for not standing up for principles, not standing up for ourselves, not standing up for the dharma. Sadly, many Hindus have misconstrued this principle of ahimsa and have let go so much of the Hindu culture and the Hindu dharma, the Hindu religion. Look today at the massive, spurious, meaning non-Hindu, phony yoga movement, where even many Indians who often don't want to call themselves Hindus for obvious reasons, they lose students, lose popularity, they've actually capitulated and joined this spurious yoga movement. And obviously, if you've been listening to our podcast, you see we clearly bring out this fact that real yoga is all about Hindu dharma, taught by Hindus and not for a fee. And remember that within the Hindu dharma, Hindu religion, if you will, Hinduism, yoga is a general term for many of our disciplines. Never forgetting that the Sanskrit, Tamil, Hindu word yoga, yogam, means to yoke to our Atmana and Brahman, yuj Atman Brahman cha. First and foremost, to figure out how to yoke to this divinity inside of us, this Atmana, and then join into a greater source of this divinity, Brahman, which is not God. Remember, that's a word like caste that should not be in our lexicon. So Hindus have a wonderful track record of creation, imagination, production, but we have a horrible track record of protecting what we've created. We fail to realize, perhaps, the value of it, and we simply let it go and be distorted, perverted, almost beyond recognition. Procrastination is a horrible thing. And unfortunately, many Hindus have become professional at procrastination. And this is why we have to address problems that should have been addressed eons of time ago. The swastika, the words caste, these should have been clarified decades ago. The fact that real yoga is all about Hinduism should have been clarified a long time ago, and now it's kind of out of control. But we too, like the water boy, we must open a can of whoop-ass. Remember, not being violent, but speaking up for the Hindu yoga dharma. We can do it. Just think of what others have done, and really in the very recent past, without too much time. Look at how many football teams have had to change their names, not disgracing the Native American Indians. Look at how Aunt Jemima has been removed from the pancake boxes, Uncle Ben from the rice boxes. Look how quickly the gay and lesbian movements have had dramatic changes. Whatever you think of those movements, at least they've had the courage to stand up for what they believe are their principles, however wrong they may be. Right? They at least exert this warrior spirit of change. This is what we Hindus need to desperately find again. Again, look to our role models of Skanda, the youthful loving warrior Muruganji, Hanumanji, the epitome of the Karma Yogi and the Bhakti Yogi, the warrior Veera Hanuman. Sri Krishna, Hanuman, Krishna, Muruganji, and Durga Ma, who rides Bengal, the tiger of life, multitasking, carrying all these wonderful weapons. And our weapons as Hindus is to exercise reason, logic, judgment, vitarka, vichara, to be established in the dharma, shraddha, to have a warrior spirit of virya, to have a strong, keen memory, smriti, never forgetting who we are, tattvamasi, aham brahmasmi. We are that atmana of love and light and energy with a body, mind, and emotions. Stand up, fellow Hindus, for the dharma. Protect the dharma, and the dharma will protect you. Listen to our podcast on Skanda Shasti and finding the youthful, loving warrior inside. And also, when does ahimsa become cowardice? As my Mataji said, reflecting on many complacent Hindus, nobody respects a coward. Stand up for the Hindu yoga, religious, spiritual, scientific, philosophical lifestyle. Find that inner nectar, the amritam, that inner soma, that inner Ganga, symbolized coming out of the head of Mahadev Shiva. Tap into that inner purity. And open up your own can of whoop-ass and find your inner, youthful, loving warrior. Remember, keep all three and you will be successful. Be a youthful, loving warrior. Jai Skanda, Jai Hanumanji, Jai Muruganji, Jai Sri Krishna, Durga Ma, Jai Hindu Yoga Dharma.